It all begins in a butcher shop. Here we meet Sarah, an overweight girl who works in the family business. She is introverted with no friends, and has a hobby of chewing her hair. The popular kids despise her because of her physique, although Claudia doesn't like that very much, but she is influenced by her friends Maka and Rossi. Claudia goes to pick up an order at the butcher shop, and is accompanied by Rossi, who takes a picture of Sarah and her parents. A while later, she goes out and taps on Rossi's profile, and sees that she published the photo with the hashtag, the three little pigs, and also that the comments were unintentionally insulting. Sarah accidentally likes the post, which made her very angry. Later, Sarah stops studying, and like every afternoon she walks to the town pool to relax a bit. She takes a bath, then putting on her swimsuit, she is about to get into the pool, when suddenly she notices that a man comes out of the bottom of the pool. Just at that moment, the bullying girls appear. Maka and Rossi want to bother Sarah, although Claudia doesn't want to do it, but they don't listen to her. The mocking girls call Sarah a pig and say very ugly insults towards her. They also tell her that the guy in the pool is her boyfriend, of course making fun of her. So as not to continue listening, Sarah dives herself in the water. The strange guy saw what was happening. He got out of the pool and left without doing anything. Then the girls tried to drown Sarah with a net. To escape, Sarah dives in. Sarah fails to see a man's corpse with his hands tied sinking at the bottom of the pool. To annoy her even more, Maka decides to take Sarah's clothes along with a bag that has her cell phone, leaving her alone with her swimsuit. Sarah has no choice but to return home walking almost naked. Along the way, some bully boys appeared and also began to bully her, harassing her in a very terrible way. Finally, they left Sarah crying and they go. She continued running until she saw a van and passed by. What she didn't realize was that Maka was crawling out of the grass very injured. A man put her in the van. We soon found out that it was the guy from the pool, who had kidnapped the three girls and was taking them away. But before he stopped to see Sarah, Claudia asked her for help and Sarah urinated out of fear, because she thought that right now they would also kill her, but not. The guy just left Claudia's towel with her, then he took them, who knows where. Sarah picked up the towel and now more covered she got to her house. She took a bath to calm down from the scare, and her mother discovered that she had sunburned. Then Sarah ate something to calm down, and on her laptop, she saw again the photo that had been published on social media, and the comments were very offensive towards her. Then Sarah said that they should screw themselves together. They deserve it. Later Sarah is at work, very thoughtful. She sees that Pedro was looking for his girlfriend Claudia, but he can't find her anywhere. Sarah's father sends her to the store to buy a replacement. Sarah comes out a little scared, and looks for the things that her father told her. What Sarah didn't know was that the kidnapper was also buying things there. Sarah wanted to buy some biscuits, but she decided that it was better not to, and she left. The one who bought them was the kidnapper. While Sarah was returning home, she saw a commotion. Her mother found her and asked her if she knew anything about the incident at the pool. Sarah answered no, so her mother took her to find out what was happening there. When they were arriving, Sarah saw the police and the forensic experts at the scene. They took out the submerged body. Well, it turns out that it was the body of the lifeguard, who had died at the hand of the strange guy. People were shocked by the homicide. This had never happened before in such a quiet town. Sarah's mother asked the police how long the body was at the bottom of the water, since her daughter possibly bathed with the body, because she goes to that place every day. Then the cops ask Sarah if she saw or heard something strange. Sarah answers no, because that day she didn't go to the pool. She mentions that she went to the river to avoid people calling her Piggy. They call her Pig, because everyone calls her that, and her mother never does nothing to help her. Then the lady takes her daughter home. During dinner, the mother tells her to eat salads, so that they no longer call her Pig. Even her little brother makes fun of Sarah. Somewhere else, the criminal was still one of his own, and this time he ended the life of the lady in her own house. Later, the lady asks Sarah where she got that towel from. Sarah responds that it is from the market. At that moment, Elena, Claudia's mother, arrived. She wanted to ask Sarah if she knows anything about her daughter, since she has not arrived home. The lady complains to Elena, tells her that Claudia and her friends intimidate Sarah, and start arguing. Sarah doesn't give any information, and they kicked Elena out of the house. That night she finds a package of biscuits that someone threw at her through the window, and she gets very scared. Maybe she has a fan in love. Even so, she eats the candy. Sarah decides to track down her lost cell phone, that the girls had taken with her bag. So for that, she takes her father's cell phone without realizing it. Then she goes to the forest calling her number, and little by little she follows the sound until she found her bag. She was alone in that place. Then the murderer found her, and just at that moment a car arrived. It was Claudia's mother along with the parents of the other missing girls, who were also tracking the girl's cell phone. The signal took them to the forest and they began to look for them. While Sarah and the murderer, they had a somewhat strange and affectionate approach. The only thing that happens is that he was becoming obsessed with Sarah. There, the relatives found a lifeless body that belonged to the waitress who worked at the pool. So Sarah ran away because they were about to discover her. With her cell phone recovered, Sarah gropes herself imagining herself with the criminal, when suddenly she is interrupted by Pedro who came looking for her. He is sure that Sarah knows something about the girls, since Claudia had sent a video to the group chat of the popular ones, where it is seen that Sarah was there being bullied in the pool. Sarah ends up confessing that she was in the pool and they bullied her, but according to her, she didn't tell the police that, so as not to accuse them of wanting to drown her and stealing her things. Pedro asks her to confess to the police that she saw them in the pool, because otherwise, she will be seen as a suspect, so Sarah promises him that if they accuse her, she will tell everything that happened in that place. On the other hand, Sarah's mother discovers that the towel is stained with blood and belongs to Claudia. Then Elena comes to ask Pedro where her daughter is. She reports that the girls' phones appeared near the body of the waitress. There. Pedro mentions that he doesn't know anything and accuses Sarah, saying that she was the last one who see them at the pool. Then Sarah's mother appears, and there the fight begin between the ladies. The police arrest them and take them away to interrogate Sarah. Sarah confesses everything the girls did to her in the pool, and she had to return home almost naked. Sarah starts crying, and her mother takes her out of the police station to take her home. The murderer was in Sarah's room, and when her father discovers him, the guy hits him with a blow to silence him. At home the lady asks Sarah why she lied about the towel, since that is Claudia's towel which is also stained with blood. The lady believes that her daughter did something to them in revenge, and is about to slap her, but the murderer stops her and hits her with a blow. She knocks her out. Sarah's little brother got up to go to the bathroom, and the psychopath one who ends up with him, but Sarah stops him. The guy takes Sarah and in his car gives her favorite biscuits. On their way without realizing they run over a bull, and Sarah is injured but the psychopath wants to take her no matter what, so he carries her to take care of her in his lair. Sarah wakes up in a dark place that looks like an abandoned slaughterhouse. When she checks the place she finds the stalkers, Rossi and Claudia, who were alive but hanging and gagged. They ask her for help and Sarah quickly removes the gag. Here Claudia blames Sarah for the fact that they will be killed, thanks to her, because she knew the situation and left them to their fate. At that moment, she hears a car arrive, and no matter how hard she tries untying them seems impossible. The murderer was approaching and Sarah is hiding. The crazy guy realized that Sarah tried to help them. He got very angry and mistreated the girls. Then he started looking for Sarah. While she was running away, Sarah found the remains of Maka and screamed tremendously, very scared by the brutality that had just witnessed. The murderer found her and tried to calm her down. Sarah asked him not to kill her, and the crazy man told her, "Calm down little girl, you won't die." But he wanted the two of them together to end the lives of the stalkers. Then the psychopath gave her a knife and encouraged her to take revenge of them. However, Sarah didn't want to do it and attacked the guy. The guy hit her with a blow for betraying him, and then he took his shotgun. Sarah took the knife and managed to stab him. Although in the struggle shot came out, which unfortunately blew off Claudia's hand, Sarah furious throws herself at the murderer, and here comes the final battle. Sarah manages leaving him stiff, and now takes the shotgun. Rossi still call her pig and asks what she's doing. Then she points the gun towards her. Claudia asks her please not to do it, but of course anyway Sarah ends up shooting. The nightmare finally ended and Sarah decides to leave that place. Here we discover that Sarah didn't kill either of the two girls, but rather shot the ropes to free them. No matter how much hatred she felt towards them for everything they did to her, Sarah didn't take the path of revenge and decided to save them. Revenge is never good, it kills the soul and poisons. In the last scene Sarah is walking all stained with blood, and on the road she meets Pedro. She asks him for help, and Pedro takes her on his motorcycle to get help in the town, and the movie ends.